Here's the hard truth. When SHTF, most people panic, realizing too late that they don't have a plan. Water, contaminated or caught. Shelter, not prepared. Mindset, missing entirely. While the unprepared flail, those who survive understand one key thing. Staying alive isn't about luck. It's about following the right rules before chaos takes over. This isn't fear-mongering, it's a wake-up call. Survival isn't about buying every gadget or stockpiling endless supplies. It's about mastering the simple, critical rules that most people ignore. The ones that decide who makes it through and who doesn't. Today, we're breaking down 7 survival rules you must follow when SHTF. Practical, life-saving strategies that can keep you safe, fed, and in control when everything else falls apart. Let's get into it. Number 1. Prioritize water above everything else. When disaster strikes, everything you once considered essential suddenly becomes secondary to one basic element: water. Food, tools, weapons, and even shelter lose their value if your body becomes dehydrated. Humans can survive for weeks without food, but only a few days without water, and that's under moderate conditions with minimal exertion. In a SHTF scenario, access to clean, drinkable water can literally be the difference between life and death. Water is not just a survival item, it is the foundation of every survival plan. Ignoring it is not merely risky, it can be fatal. Preparation begins with knowledge. Waiting until chaos erupts to figure out where to get water is a recipe for disaster. You need to identify and map out reliable sources long before an emergency. Rivers, lakes, streams, springs, and wells are obvious options, but even rainwater can be a lifeline if you have proper collection systems in place. Urban environments require more creativity. Bathtubs, sinks, water heaters, and hidden plumbing reservoirs can serve as emergency water sources, but only if properly treated before use. Knowing exactly where and how to access these sources ahead of time will save precious hours and reduce panic when every second counts. Never assume water is safe simply because it looks clear. Contaminated water carries bacteria, viruses, and parasites that can incapacitate or kill faster than dehydration ever could. Boiling water for several minutes remains one of the most reliable methods to eliminate pathogens, while chemical treatments like chlorine or iodine tablets offer a compact, lightweight solution ideal for survival kits. Portable filters can remove bacteria and protozoa, and some advanced models even filter viruses. Redundancy is essential. Having multiple purification methods ensures that if one fails or runs out, you are not left without options. It is equally important to recognize the limits of each method, as filters cannot neutralize chemical contamination. Knowing the nature of the water you are sourcing is as crucial as having the means to purify it. Stockpiling water is more than accumulating gallons. It is about strategic storage. Experts recommend maintaining at least a 3-day supply per person, though a 2-week supply is far safer if space permits. Containers should be sturdy and food grade, and supplies should be rotated regularly to prevent stagnation and bacterial growth. Concentrating all your water in a single location is a dangerous gamble. If that spot is compromised, your survival plan collapses. Instead, distribute your supplies across multiple secure locations. Hidden, discrete storage points will ensure access even when circumstances are unpredictable, effectively serving as insurance against sudden loss. Water rationing is about sustainable survival, not extreme denial. Underdrinking leads to dehydration, dizziness, and impaired judgment, which can be fatal in a high-stress situation. It is wiser to consume small, frequent sips rather than large gulps, ensuring your body remains consistently hydrated. Water must be reserved for essential purposes, prioritizing drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene over luxury uses. Vulnerable individuals such as children, the elderly, and those with medical conditions require extra attention as they dehydrate faster than healthy adults. Proper rationing balances immediate survival with long-term sustainability. Water is not just for quenching thirst, it is essential for cooking, hygiene, and sanitation. Dehydrated or freeze-dried meals, which are staples of many survival plans, require water for preparation. Hygiene cannot be neglected, as maintaining cleanliness prevents infections and preserves morale, while sanitation is crucial in confined or stressed environments to prevent disease outbreaks. Every drop counts, and careful allocation of water across all these essential uses can extend your survival time significantly while keeping health risks to a minimum. Imagine a scenario where you are stranded in a city after a blackout. Tap water is contaminated, stores are closed, and bottled water is gone. A neighbor's bathtub holds 50 gallons of water. Without a purification method, that water is dangerous. But with a portable filter or chemical treatment, you have secured enough hydration for days, possibly even a week. In such moments, water is not just a survival necessity, it is control in chaos. Treat it as your most precious asset. Rule number 1 in any SHTF situation is not optional. It is the lifeline that sustains life. When disaster strikes, water becomes liquid gold, and your survival, health, and ability to endure depend entirely on it. Number 2, secure a safe shelter immediately. When disaster strikes, exposure can kill faster than hunger, thirst, or even injuries. Extreme heat, freezing temperatures, violent storms, or civil unrest all pose immediate threats, and without a safe, reliable shelter, every other survival plan becomes secondary. Food, water, and tools lose their value if you cannot protect yourself from the elements or looming dangers. Preparation is essential. Waiting for chaos to force you into a location can lead to panic-driven mistakes that put you in harm's way. By identifying potential shelters ahead of time, whether near your home, workplace, or bug-out sites, you gain a crucial advantage. These shelters can vary widely, ranging from fortified rooms and basements to attics, cabins, tents, or even vehicles when nothing else is available. Knowing your options beforehand ensures that you can make decisions with clarity instead of desperation. Once you have chosen your shelter, the next step is fortification. Even small improvements can make a dramatic difference between safety and vulnerability. Reinforcing doors and windows, creating hidden compartments for emergency supplies, and ensuring multiple exit routes in case of fire, structural failure, or intrusion can all save lives. Fortification does not require elaborate construction. Simple measures like stacking heavy furniture to block entry points, setting improvised alarms, or securing weak points with available materials can dramatically increase your odds of staying safe. Beyond physical security, a shelter must also protect you from the elements. Extreme temperatures are silent killers. Cold can induce hypothermia and frostbite within hours, while heat can trigger dehydration and heat stroke faster than most anticipate. Stocking blankets, sleeping bags, tarps, and insulation materials allows you to maintain warmth during winter, while ensuring shade, ventilation, and lightweight clothing helps you survive scorching conditions in summer. Comfort in this context is not a luxury, it is survival. Adequate insulation, shade, and protection reduce stress, conserve energy, and prevent health crises before they start. Equally important is planning for mobility. Shelters can become unsafe unexpectedly due to flooding, fire, looting, or structural instability. Always have secondary safe zones in mind and map multiple evacuation routes to get there. Keep portable supplies packed and ready so if your primary shelter becomes compromised, you can relocate without losing precious time. A well-chosen shelter functions as a command center. It allows you to store and purify water, prepare food, maintain hygiene, and rest safely. It serves as a base from which all other survival efforts operate efficiently. Stress, fatigue, and injury multiply dangers in survival situations, and a secure shelter mitigates all three. Rule number 2 is simple. Shelter is survival. Without it, all other preparations risk being wasted, and even brief exposure to extreme conditions can quickly turn deadly. Treat your shelter as the heart of your survival strategy, secure, functional, and adaptable. It is more than just a roof over your head. It is your sanctuary, your operational hub, and the place that allows you to endure, plan, and act effectively in the chaos. A properly fortified, well-stocked shelter doesn't just protect life, it preserves your ability to survive and fight another day. Number 3, maintain situational awareness. In any SHTF, SHT hits the fan scenario, situational awareness is often the single most overlooked but absolutely critical survival skill. It's not just about noticing what's happening around you, it's about interpreting that information, anticipating threats, and acting before danger becomes unavoidable. Panic spreads faster than actual danger, and history shows that survivors are almost always the ones who spot problems before they escalate. Awareness can turn a potentially life-threatening situation into a manageable one, while complacency can be fatal. Your senses are your first and most reliable line of defense. Make it a habit to constantly scan your surroundings, both near and far. Look for changes in your environment that might signal danger. Broken fences, abandoned vehicles, smoke rising in the distance, or even unusual odors can indicate fire, structural damage, or human activity. In urban areas, keep an eye on crowd behavior. Sudden mass movement, arguments, or panicked groups often precede chaos. In rural or wilderness settings, pay attention to wildlife. Birds going silent, animals behaving erratically, or footprints in unexpected locations may warn you of predators or environmental hazards. Even minor details can be critical. A door left ajar, an unoccupied car parked for days, or someone lingering where they shouldn't be can provide early warning. Over time, you'll develop an instinct for normal versus off. Your intuition is just pattern recognition trained by careful observation. Information is as crucial as food or water, but only if it's accurate. In emergencies, rumors, social media panic posts, and word-of-mouth stories can spread faster than the actual danger, often misleading people into risky decisions. Equip yourself with tools to receive verified updates. Battery-powered or hand-crank radios, official emergency alert apps, or direct communication with local authorities can keep you informed. Develop a network of trustworthy contacts who can confirm facts. Even one reliable source in a sea of misinformation can save you hours, or even lives. In extreme situations, knowing what's happening just 15 to 30 minutes ahead of others can allow you to choose the safest route, secure supplies, or avoid dangerous areas. Situational awareness is only half the battle. Preparation is the other half. Always have multiple exit strategies for every location you occupy. At home, know every doorway, window, and potential escape path, even ones you've improvised. When outside, identify alternate roads, trails, or safe zones in case the main route is blocked. Consider obstacles. Debris, traffic, flooded areas, or hostile individuals may force you to improvise. Mentally rehearse evacuation scenarios and escape strategies until the responses become instinctive. In high-stress situations, hesitation is dangerous. Knowing your options in advance speeds up decision-making and reduces panic. Human behavior can be as threatening as natural hazards. Crowds under stress can turn aggressive, stampedes can occur without warning, and opportunistic crime rises during chaos. Learning to read people is a survival skill in its own right. Observe body language, facial expressions, vocal tone, and group dynamics. Identify those likely to help, those who are neutral, and those who may pose a threat. Avoid confrontation when possible, but don't ignore warning signs. A person acting overly nervous, a group moving suspiciously, or someone trying to block your path may signal danger. Understanding human behavior often gives you more time and options than any tool or weapon could. Awareness alone is useless if panic takes over. Train yourself to process information calmly, prioritize threats, and act decisively. Conduct stress drills, simulate evacuations, sudden shortages, or environmental emergencies. Visualize potential scenarios and how you would respond. Over time, this mental rehearsal strengthens your reflexes, improves decision-making speed, and keeps fear from clouding judgment. Remember, situational awareness isn't about paranoia, it's about readiness. It's a mental shield that allows you to think clearly under pressure. Situational awareness isn't just about observing, it's about thinking ahead and staying ahead. Anticipate danger, plan multiple responses, and act based on verified information. The most effective survivors are not the lucky ones. They are the ones who predict threats, move before problems become crises, and often gain the advantage while others scramble blindly. Being proactive can mean simple actions, securing windows when unrest spreads nearby, avoiding areas where rumors of violence are circulating, or pre-staging supplies along potential escape routes. Awareness transforms into power when paired with foresight. Ultimately, situational awareness is more than a skill. It's a mindset. It's the habit of thinking ahead, reading environments and people, and making informed decisions under pressure. Constant vigilance, combined with calm and proactive planning, gives you a tangible edge in survival situations. When danger arrives, and it always does, it's the prepared and alert who survive, not the unobservant. Number 4, keep a survival mindset. Most people ignore this. You can have the best gear, the most detailed plans, and a pantry full of supplies, but if your mind isn't prepared for chaos, none of it will save you. In SHTF scenarios, mental resilience, adaptability, and patience are often far more critical than any tool or weapon. Panic, indecision, or despair can turn even minor setbacks into life-threatening disasters. Calm thinking beats frantic action every time. Survival isn't linear. Supplies deplete faster than anticipated. Carefully laid plans fail, and situations can shift in an instant. Accepting unpredictability as the norm isn't pessimism, it's strategic realism. When you anticipate setbacks, you remain flexible. Instead of freezing or panicking when something goes wrong, you adjust quickly, improvise, and keep moving forward. Every survivor you admire thrived because they treated unpredictability as a challenge, not a catastrophe. Fear, anger, frustration, or despair can cloud judgment and lead to poor decisions. Learning to manage emotions is as vital as knowing how to start a fire or purify water. Simple but effective techniques, controlled breathing, short mental pauses, visualization of calm responses, or focusing on the immediate task can prevent panic from taking control. When the world is collapsing around you, emotional discipline isn't optional, it's survival. No plan survives first contact with reality perfectly. Tools break, routes become blocked, and food or water runs low. The difference between those who endure and those who don't often comes down to adaptability. Survivors find creative solutions, turning a broken item into a tool, rerouting through an unexpected path, or repurposing resources on the fly. Flexibility and quick thinking under pressure aren't just useful, they're essential. SHTF situations rarely last a few hours. They can stretch for days, weeks, or even longer. Conditioning your mind for prolonged stress, discomfort, and isolation is just as important as stocking supplies. Daily practices like problem-solving exercises, self-discipline routines, meditation, or endurance challenges prepare you for the long haul. The more your mind is trained to handle pressure calmly, the less likely you are to break when real emergencies strike. You cannot control the disaster itself, but you can control your response. Channel your energy into actionable steps: securing water, maintaining shelter, protecting food, and ensuring personal safety. Worrying about what you cannot change is wasted energy that could otherwise be used to survive. Mental clarity allows you to prioritize and act effectively, turning limited resources into maximum advantage. Rule number 4 is often overlooked because people mistakenly believe survival is about gear, luck, or brute force. In truth, your mindset is the engine that powers every other prep, plan, or skill. Train your mind like you train your body. It's your most important survival tool. A strong, disciplined, and adaptable mind doesn't just help you survive, it helps you thrive when everything else falls apart. Number 5, stock essentials strategically. Survival isn't about hoarding every shiny gadget or filling a room with random supplies. It's about having the right essentials in the right amounts ready when you need them. When SHTF, luck won't deliver food, medicine, or tools to your doorstep, only preparation will. Strategic stocking is what separates those who survive calmly from those scrambling in desperation. The foundation of any survival stockpile is the basics: water, non-perishable food, medicine, hygiene products, and essential tools. Water should always be your top priority. Clean drinking water is life itself. Next, focus on calorie-dense, non-perishable foods that can sustain you over days or weeks. Medical supplies like first aid kits and prescription medications are equally critical. Even minor injuries or untreated illnesses can escalate quickly in an emergency. Specialty gadgets, luxury survival gear, or high-tech toys are secondary. They're nice to have, but they won't keep you alive. A stockpile is only useful if it's fresh and functional. Expired food, degraded batteries, or moldy hygiene products are worthless when you need them most. Implement a rotation system. Check expiration dates regularly, use older items first, and replace them before they go bad. Rotate water supplies and test stored equipment occasionally to ensure everything works as intended. A well-maintained stash is a reliable arsenal, not a forgotten pile of clutter. Surviving is more than just filling your stomach. It's about sustaining energy, strength, and mental clarity. Don't rely solely on canned beans or rice. Include a balance of proteins, carbohydrates, and essential vitamins. Freeze-dried fruits, powdered milk, nut butters, jerky, or even vitamin supplements can prevent malnutrition and keep morale up during extended emergencies. Variety also reduces survival fatigue, the mental exhaustion from eating the same few foods repeatedly. Illness and infection can be just as deadly as any disaster. Stock bandages, antiseptics, over-the-counter medications, and any necessary prescription drugs. Hygiene items, soap, toothpaste, feminine products, and hand sanitizers aren't luxuries, and they prevent disease outbreaks in confined or stressful environments. Remember, one untreated injury or minor illness can snowball into a life-threatening situation if medical help isn't available. Efficiency is survival currency. Whenever possible, select items that serve multiple functions. A sturdy tarp can become a shelter, rainwater collector, or ground cover. A multi-purpose knife can handle cooking, protection, and repair tasks. Multi-use gear reduces weight, conserves space, and gives you maximum flexibility when improvisation is necessary. In chaotic scenarios, stores are empty, emergency services are stretched thin, and scavenging becomes a dangerous gamble. Relying on luck is a fast track to desperation. Strategic stocking ensures you stay in control, reduces risk, and gives you breathing room to make smart decisions rather than scrambling for scraps. Rule number 5 isn't about how much you have, it's about how smartly you prepare. A thoughtful, well-maintained stockpile transforms chaos into manageability. It buys time, provides stability, and keeps you one step ahead when everyone else is running blind. Smart preparation isn't just practical, it's peace of mind in the middle of uncertainty. Number 6, learn basic skills. Gear fails, batteries die, supplies run out. In SHTF situations, your knowledge and skills become your most reliable survival tools. While preps provide a safety net, skills give you independence, adaptability, and the confidence to act when plans or equipment fail. True survival isn't measured by what you own, it's measured by what you can do. Fire is survival's lifeline. It provides warmth, purifies water, cooks food, and even signals for help. Relying on a single method is risky. Learn multiple ways to start a fire: matches, lighters, ferro rods, and friction-based methods like bow drills. Practice building fire under adverse conditions, rain, wind, or snow, so you're ready when it counts. Knowing how to safely ignite and maintain fire can be the difference between life and hypothermia. Minor injuries can escalate into life-threatening problems without proper care. Learn to clean wounds, apply bandages, splint broken limbs, and manage common medical emergencies. CPR and basic trauma response skills are invaluable when professional help is unavailable. Even understanding how to identify infection, dehydration, or heat stroke gives you a major advantage in prolonged crises. The knowledge to treat yourself or others can save lives when every second counts. Maps, GPS devices, and digital tools can fail, but your ability to navigate never will if you know how. Learn to read topographic maps, recognize landmarks, and use a compass. Understand basic celestial navigation, using the sun for direction during the day and stars at night. Being able to move confidently through unfamiliar terrain prevents getting lost, reduces wasted energy, and increases your chances of reaching safety. Survival isn't just about resources, it's about personal safety. Learn situational awareness, evasive movement, and fundamental self-defense techniques. Even basic skills like maintaining distance, creating barriers, or disarming simple threats can deter aggressors. Confidence in your ability to protect yourself reduces panic and increases your mental resilience in tense situations. Survival is unpredictable, and rigid plans rarely survive contact with reality. Developing the ability to improvise is crucial. Learn to repair broken gear, create tools from available materials, and adapt to challenges creatively. Whether it's turning a tarp into a water collector or fashioning a splint from tree branches, improvisation transforms scarcity into opportunity and helplessness into capability. Rule number 6 is simple. Preparation without skills is fragile. Knowledge turns panic into action, helplessness into capability, and vulnerability into confidence. Skills are portable, reliable, and often more valuable than any stockpile. When SHTF, your training is the ultimate tool that nothing can take away. Number 7, always have an escape or contingency plan. No plan survives perfectly, but having one dramatically increases your chances when SHTF. Emergencies are chaotic and unpredictable. Roads may be blocked, shelters compromised, or situations escalate faster than anticipated. Mobility, preparation, and flexibility often make the difference between safety and disaster. A solid escape plan turns panic into action and confusion into control. Never rely on a single exit. Identify several ways to leave your home, neighborhood, or even your city. Consider alternative roads, back trails, alleys, or less obvious routes that might be safer if main roads are congested or blocked. Driving or walking routes should be tested ahead of time if possible. Familiarity with multiple options ensures you're never trapped by traffic, obstacles, or chaos. Your primary home might not always be safe. Have at least one secondary location, a relative's house, a cabin, or a pre-stocked bug-out location. Ensure it's accessible under various scenarios and stocked with essentials like water, food, first aid, and tools. Backup locations aren't just optional, they're your insurance against the unexpected, giving you a secure fallback if your main shelter becomes unsafe. Time is a luxury you rarely have during a disaster. Pre-packed emergency kits, also called go bags, for each family member save precious minutes and reduce stress. Include water, food, clothing, first aid supplies, tools, and important documents like IDs or insurance papers. Having everything ready to grab at a moment's notice allows for immediate action and prevents critical items from being forgotten in the chaos. Disasters often disrupt phones, internet, and social networks. Establish methods to reconnect with family or group members if separated. Walkie-talkies, preset meeting points, or emergency contact plans are essential. Clear communication prevents panic, ensures coordination, and reduces the risk of splitting up at the wrong moment. Contingency plans aren't rigid instructions, they're frameworks. Conditions on the ground can change in seconds. A road may be flooded, a neighborhood unsafe, or supplies depleted. Adaptability ensures you can escape danger, access resources, or relocate efficiently even when your original plan fails. The best escape plan is one that can bend without breaking. Rule number 7 is about thinking ahead and staying mobile. When disaster strikes, the ability to act quickly, move safely, and adapt your plan is as important as any prepper supply you own. Mobility and foresight keep you ahead of danger, reduce unnecessary risk, and give you options when others are trapped or panicking. Preparation isn't just about gear, it's about having a strategy you can rely on under pressure. They say life is always predictable, until it isn't. One crisis hits, and suddenly the things you depend on, water, shelter, safety, even your own composure, can vanish in hours. Survival isn't about comfort or convenience anymore. It's about staying alive, staying sharp, and staying in control. These 7 survival rules aren't just guidelines, they're your lifeline when chaos erupts. While most people panic, you'll know what to do first. Secure water, find shelter, stay aware, and keep a survival mindset that most ignore. Which rule do you think would make the biggest difference if SHTF hit tomorrow? Drop a comment. We might highlight it next. Stay vigilant, stay adaptable, and remember, when disaster strikes, those who prepare and follow the rules survive while the unprepared struggle.